and I'm gonna give a case study about Amazon case study. And there are 6 people we have. And coming to the Amazon, I think every one of you know about the Amazon Inc. is an American electronic commerce and cloud computing company with its headquarters in Seattle, Washington. And this was founded by Jeff Bezos in 1994, and it has launched its largest bookstore in July 1995. Amazon owns over 40 subsidiaries, including IMDb, A9.com, and a lot more that are provided in the image. And how many of you really know about the Amazon initial name, Cadabra? So, why the Benzo has kept it? Benzo wanted to call the company as Cadabra, but the Amazon first lawyer convinced it to make it change over the fact it sounds similar to cadaver. Cadaver means like a dead person. So he just changed it. Later named it as Amazon by looking through the dictionary, as it sounds exotic and different. And he noted Amazon River as its biggest river in the world, and he wanted his brand to be the biggest in the world, so he just named it. And the other reason for that is like, if you go search for any site, the letter starts with A, so he just sort it out, because even though if you search for that, it will be in the top order. And coming to the Amazon logo, it has changed a lot and finally stuck to an arrow shaped with a smile and going from A to Z. Amazon had started as the world's largest bookstore, virtually bookstore that physically owns no books. Amazon started diversifying into product line like DVDs, computer softwares, games, furniture, toys, and a lot more. And coming to the case study, why has Amazon succeeded online when so many other companies have failed? Amazon always invited the new products coming into the market. Even though it started its business selling books, now it's been into the number of categories and look to welcome more products as well. Amazon maintained their standards and built their brand value so high that if any individual want to buy anything, the first vendor that comes into the brain is Amazon. The availability of the vast variety of goods made them to create a strong customer base, and this attracted many of the distributors into the Amazon.
In order to be successful, a company has to focus on 4 main criteria in their marketing plan, and that is product, place, promotion, and price. Why is Amazon so successful? Okay, firstly, in terms of diversification, they've expanded their product range from just selling just books. They now sell electronics, gifts, toys, and other things to cater to a wide range of customers. Secondly, they were very innovative in the sense that they launched a new product known as Kindle, which helped them to establish themselves as the biggest online retailers. Thirdly, they've expanded their distribution coverage in terms of like place and promotion. They've made their site easily accessible to customers through direct links. They've taken part in active advertising through banner ads and social media. Fourthly, they've prioritized on customer service, and they've done this by investing in technology to make shopping more easier, faster, and more rewarding to their customers, and building upon customer loyalty. Fifthly, they've always remained competitive in terms of price, offering like heavy discounts, and generally they market their products on the basis of selling at the lowest prices. Sixthly, they've successfully launched the Amazon app, and this has given them more popularity over time. Evolving with time, Amazon has dealt with uncertainties in the digital era, and in order to combat this, they've come up with Kindle as a form of like moving with times and to do their part for the environment, because it helps conserve with like paper, and yeah.
So we come to the next question, which is, will the Kindle revolutionize the book industry? Why or why not? Now, Kindle is basically a series of e-readers designed and marketed by Amazon, which is made specifically for the purpose of reading ebooks or periodicals. It has a vast variety of periodicals and ebooks that it covers in its store. We all know the basic advantages of ebooks, but still to just point them out, they're easy to carry, easy to store. They have dynamic research tools. They're easy to reference, sharing with friends, as well as they have searchable notations, which are much helpful for research purposes. So basically, you can fit an entire library in your pocket, and it also sort of helps in the whole global literacy movement, which we're all working towards. Now, in order to expand its reach, Kindle has also its own app, which integrates itself with various platforms like BlackBerry, Apple, Windows, and Android, or even Samsung for that matter.
So Amazon Kindle, with collaboration with World Reader, has come out with a program called the Kindle Reading Fund. What it does is it supplies Kindle e-readers, Fire tablets, e-books to various developing countries, and it also provides donation and supports them to make e-reading available to the lesser privileged countries. But how important is printed books, and why do it still have its relevance? First and foremost, it's survived for 5 centuries, so it has its own charm there. It gives you the pleasure and joy of reading, which you often don't get from ebooks. The durability, because Kindle 10 years from now, say it won't have its softwares updated, it might need a retake, but a book will exist. Book will never cease to exist, and it will always be there. There's a recall factor which printed books brings along a lot, which is very useful. And then the physical reminder of the journey. What happens is, basically, when you read printed books, you have a sort of a mind map of recalling what you have read, so it gives you a visual memory and aid. Moving on to linear deep reading and scheming. Now, linear reading is what? Linear reading is basically when you read from left to right, from the start to finish, right from the scratch, when you read everything thoroughly. Hence, linear and deep reading, meaning in a line. Whereas skimming is going through and skipping over some unnecessary parts and reading the necessary information required. Moving on to ebooks versus hard books. So research previously showed that before 1992, people read much slower, less accurately, and couldn't remember much information and recall much when they read ebooks. However, since 1992 onwards, what happened was it became less consistent, meaning that research studies conducted these years are showing that people are slowly but surely adapting and getting used to being comfortable reading ebooks as much as they can read hard printed books.
Brain versus your Kindle brain aren't the same thing. So basically, different parts of your brain are used for either of these activities. And subsequently, research also shows that avid ebook readers are less likely to be strong readers or have the love for reading, both of which are very essential for children's success in schools as well as beyond, given our current setup of learning and education. So while Kindle has impacted the culture of reading massively, it is still just a stage in the overall spectrum of digital reading. So the future may involve a progression which goes away from dedicated e-readers to more integrated devices that include e-reading as a feature in itself. This accommodates consumer resistance to buying expensive dedicated e-readers and helps them to take advantage of digital reading in itself. So we could conclude by saying that Kindle has definitely revolutionized the book industry, but it cannot make the printed books obsolete because of its unique advantages as well as the historical relevance printed books have. On the other hand, ebooks have enormous potential in terms of social, economic, as well as environmental relevance. So while it is very helpful, the evolution in itself is going to be a slow process. So both of these are very distinct segments. Books versus ebooks have their own advantages. So they must be positioned separately basis their distinguished value to consumers.
Today I'm going to talk about what next for Amazon, where it can grow. Amazon into home automatic. Amazon is going to start its home automatic services that enable the consumer to access with a smart approach such as Amazon Echo, Meet My Fox, Bluetooth Caseta, Netcam and so on. As we talk about Amazon Echo, it's like a Siri works on voice command, better than that. Second one is My Fox, it is home security used for smart security at home. Third one is SETA. that control light, shades, and temperature at home. And fourth one is Netcam. It's like see what happening in home when we are not at home.
Hi guys, I'm going to do the last part, that is the recommendations part. So the first and the foremost one will be designing and developing an integrated product that competes with Apple and Android handheld devices with inbuilt Kindle Store and e-ink features. And this enables maximum reach to consumers that are currently apprehensive about investing in a dedicated reading device while smartphones are indispensable to them. So what this does is it acts as a mobile device as well as a Kindle. So it helps everyone by just handling one device wherever they want to go. And the second one will be support free or subsidized web access to consumers with little or no access to internet, especially in developing countries, to expand the e-commerce experience to those who do not currently have it. So what they're doing in this is they're providing free access to the users who don't have net access everywhere in the world. So already Facebook Lite has been using this strategy, so it would be helpful even if Amazon would like to go for it. The third one would be offering B2B subscriptions to large scale corporates specific to their field of operations in order to leverage upon Amazon's extensive network of knowledge based resources. For example, giving access to Ranbaxy Laboratories Limited to all the pharmaceutical related resources available within Amazon's network. This will enable them to earn large scale revenues through economies of scale. So these are just the differences, and thank you everyone, and all your questions are accepted.